Hello, hello. Also streams lately. What do you mean? Are you saying that the old ones were not awesome? I'm joking. Don't worry. Well, thank you for the kind words. Hey, Neuroside. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hey, Ililulo. Thank you for the $5 to the Z Software Foundation. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. New episodes of Zig Showtime? Yes, I need to resume Showtime. That's for sure. I also, so here's an interesting thing. A while ago, I kind of tried to reboot it, but the talk that I wanted to have was on Ziggy PyDust, which is a framework for creating Zig bindings for Python. But the author had reached out because they were, I don't know if they actually reached out to me to do Showtime or if I reached out to them originally. But in any case, we were in talks to make that happen. And then they like kind of ghosted me hard. And so it turns out, and then they messaged me recently saying that they told me that basically the company kind of ended that experiment, I guess. And so like they moved onto another language. And so the project was kind of being left behind. And so they didn't have like, I guess for a while it was in an awkward position, and then after that they moved on to other things. So I mean, it's fine, that such is life. So what's interesting is that now they're looking for like a new home for the project if anybody wants to continue it, because they're that company is not interested in pursuing that anymore. And yeah, so that is one thing that I don't know. I was about to say prevented, but it wasn't really something that prevented. It was like one reason why I ended up not resuming the Showtime, because I got kind of stuck there, hoping that they would reply, and then I moved on to other things. So yeah, hopefully we can have it make a comeback. Yeah, I should totally work on the announcement for the next Showtime, which should be on the 31st of this month. So let's do that. So what else do I have on my plate today? So we haven't done Zig website maintenance in a while, so we might want to look at PRs and issues that have accumulated in the meantime. I need to update my projects to Zig 014. That one is going to be a gauntlet of work because, well, I mean, it's a bunch of those. They're all interconnected. They're all heavy with metaprogramming, so it's probably going to be a tiny adventure, making sure that everything, like refactoring everything. And what else? Also with the book, I made good progress. So I have the first chapter of the book almost completed. I am in the process of writing the end of chapter recap. And I think I will publish it even with the end of chapter recap incomplete. I just want to make sure that the end of chapter it's going to work that way. You do a full chapter, and then throughout the chapter, you learn about tiny things, about concrete things about systems programming. But then at the end of the chapter, I always try to give a high level lesson. So I basically am in the process of writing that down. The end of chapter recap does that, and then actually does the recap and adds more context to things that we haven't really things that I skipped in my previous explanations because they were not necessary to move forward with the task at hand at the time. So that last part, like the extra, let's call it like the extra context and trivia, that part is not interesting. But I want to make sure that the the big lesson at the end of the chapter is there before publishing. It'd be nice to see you updating to 0.14. I have no idea how big the update is. I think that for me, the only thing that I'm scared of is, well, there's gonna be a bunch of like type info enums things that have changed, but that's not horrible. I think that for me, the scariest part is the fact that now struct fields and decals share the same namespace. So you can't anymore have functions have the same name as a field. And I think I have a few instances of that here and there. So that will require me, finding new names for things. Build system. Oh. Yeah, also build system. Through any change of the build in the build system is going to be like massive for me. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess it's on me. I chose that destiny for myself by doing a bunch of metaprogramming. I don't regret it. At the end of the day, you know what? Fuck it, I'm happy. But yeah. Also, here's another thing that we need to do. Guess who else needs to be upgraded to Zig 0.14? Hint might be in the current screen. And there's a number. There's a almost funny number of repos that will need to be updated. So I guess it's a matter of reaching out, like sending an email to everybody, see what they do, and pick up and like kind of process every repo that is not gonna get updated or something like that. Honestly, I don't know how that should be even done precisely, but yeah. Oh, here's one thing that I want to do. Where's the orca repo? It's time to kill it. Actually, the orca project is making their own Zig build. So this was like a test thing that me and Andrew did. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. So we can kill this. I could archive it, I guess. But I don't think there's even anything worth archiving in there. So you know what? Let's just delete it. It's fine. All your code base orca. Goodbye. Yeah. Goodbye. Oh man, so much security. I mean, I get it, but there we go. 67 now. So we lost one repo. We're one repo further away from the funny number. What changes in metaprogramming are happening? Not huge ones, but the problem is that there's like two problems. One is sometimes when you have a lot of very intertwined metaprogramming and there are not even huge changes, making sense of the errors, exactly where they are originating and what is the correct fix is not immediately obvious. It's doable. You can do it. It's just that it gets convoluted because that's kind of what metaprogramming is. The second problem is that sometimes what happens is that you might rely. So the comptime model of Zig is, I would say, mostly working. It mostly makes sense, but occasionally, tiny corner cases get discovered, and then they get basically fixed. Like they get like basically what previously was allowed. Now there's an extra check in the compiler that prevents you from doing that thing. That's good. That's genuinely good. For example, previously, or like I don't know. A few versions ago, maybe even not that many versions ago, but for a while, you were able, for example, to mutate global comptime variables. So you create a comptime var in a global scope, you mutate it in a bunch of different places, and you could somehow observe the mutation order. that is not supposed, that's something that you're not supposed to be able to do. And so after a while, I don't remember if it's already 0.13 or if that's coming to 0.14, but after some time, com time got restricted. Now a com time variable has to live in a non-global scope, I believe. And so you have to do one extra step where you take a var, you mutate it maybe in a block, but then you have like a one finalization step where you take that value and you copy it, you break it from a block. For example, you return it from a function, and that gets, set in stone in a globally namespace comtime const value. So again, the change is not huge. The change is totally doable. The problem is, if your code somehow relied on that, then you're kind of screwed, because now you need to re-engineer your stuff. So that's mostly the problem that you might be facing. I would say that's the biggest problem you might be facing with comp time. Or well, I guess there's that, and then another one could be that maybe something isn't working, like there's a bug in 0.14 on master branch, that kind of stuff. That's also possible. I guess the lesson is to not rely on using namespace. In this case, I wasn't like what I just described about global stuff can totally be done both in the right and in the wrong way without using namespace. So I would say it's somewhat orthogonal. That said, yes, using namespace is definitely something you do not want to rely on. I would recommend using namespace out of your programs. By the way, guess what? I do using namespace in one place, unfortunately, in my SuperHTML language server. I using namespace in there. Honestly, I have a extremely stupid use of it, so I can it's gonna take a moment to fix it. It's just gonna be very easy. But I do have that problem, so that's gonna be another thing that we'll need to fix. Although using namespace eventually, I think using namespace is still in 0.14, so that's not gonna be a problem. While updating repos, would be nice to compile a list of changes. But that's going to be in the release notes. I get to what you're saying, while they're not released. But also keep in mind that until the 0.14 version is cut, that list might not be complete. There were discussions in the last few days where in the core team where they're probably trying to push a few other breaking changes last minute. Mostly if it's breaking changes to things that are already changing or related to things that are already changing. Hey, Jim. Hello. Hello, Rocco Rager. Hello, Phil. Hello, everybody. Okay, so should we do some work? .0.14 is not out, Pierre, but 0.14 is not out, but it's about to be out. So this is a good time to start moving stuff over. That's mostly it. Okay, so on our plate we have the SHOWTIME announcement. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, oh, here's another thing that I want to do. So I did the OS from scratch stuff, right? And we got to implementing syscalls. So I completed that work because what remains, Christos, what remains in the book is that's not it. Why did he get me here? Why is this thing so fucking stupid? Why is this not even... Why is this the third result? In any case, so I completed this stuff, but there's one last thing that I haven't done that might be interesting to do. So if you remember, when I had a panic in my OS, you could correctly see a panic from Zig, but you would not see the stack trace. guess what? There's an old blog post from Andrew. Pa, 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 pa. There's this old blog post from Andrew where he's kind of doing the same, except on actual hardware instead of a virtual machine. And he's basically going through the steps to make it work. Do you see this? Like, this is familiar, right? That's a freaking linker script snippet. So he is, with this linker script, he's trying to put dwarf debug info in the executable itself. Yeah, but because it can't work out of the box, right? You need debug info, or I guess it's either debug info or like what's the other system, like frame pointers, but I don't know how about that. In any case, debug info is one way of doing that. And then you need also, and then if you want to see the actual line being printed, you also need sources. So he was going through the work of making it work. Look, doesn't that look familiar, right? He has a bunch of X and bars that point at symbols in there. He has some code that puts at those addresses, I suspect, or in any case, use those addresses to load dwarf info. And then he also has, where is it? He also embeds source files as well. So yeah, so maybe we could try to do this and see if we can pull it off and get panics with nice stack traces also in our case. So that's another thing that we might want to do. Honestly, maybe a good starting point is to just do the 014 stuff first. Embedding source files will make the kernel huge, no? Nah. Well, in my case, my OS, it's like 500 lines of code. Like, this is my kernel. Keep in mind, we're not talking about a real kernel, okay? We're talking about like a super bare bones kernel that can basically do multitasking and syscalls. That's like 500 lines of code. That's how many lines it takes you. Actually, if you try to minimize numbers of lines, you could even do much better than that if you wanted to. So like, it's super simple stuff. It's just one file. This is literally it. So it's perfectly feasible. So maybe that could be like a fifth bonus day where we do this work. But as I was saying, I think I'm gonna start with upgrading my stuff to 0.14. So upgrading my Zig projects to 0.14.0. That's what I'm gonna do, I think. So how do we do this? I guess our goal is, well, I have a personal blog, so I generally use my personal blog as a canary for changes to my static site generator. So what I'm gonna do is take my personal blog, try to build it using Zig 0.14, watch it fail, and then bit by bit do the work. So let's go do that. So we are currently depending on a published version of Zine. Let's change that. Let's use a local checkout. We build. We build. Okay, so works. Currently, my local checkout of Zine depends on published versions of my dependencies. And, I strongly suspect most of these will need changes. So let's go take a look at all this stuff. or rather, let's watch it fade first. So my Zig1 is a 0.14. So Zig1 version. So Zig1, sorry, field served. Ouch. Okay. We have issues in duplicate struct member name description. There we go. Now we're starting to get hit with the namespace stuff. You know what? I'm gonna put Christoph on the right side. On the left, I'm gonna look at Zine. So we already have stuff in Zine. So I guess let's go fix these errors first, and then we'll go into dependencies. We also have stuff in dependencies, it seems. So, oof. Okay, context page. Line 23. So there's a description in here, and there's a function called description. Wait, is there? There's a description inside built-ins, the description inside footnote. This is a description. Okay, so basically what we need to do is this cannot collide with the other thing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this to underscore description, maybe, or even double underscore description, or maybe doc. You know what? Maybe docs underscore description, because this is the description used by the documentation generating system. So let's see what happens next. Wait, we immediately go into dependencies. So that's interesting. Okay, so here's the other problem though. If we do change this to docs underscore description, then everything else needs to adapt to this. So everything in context, or let's do it this way. Pub const description. Everything in context that has this, we need to change to something else. Okay, can I use regrep to search and replace? Is this gonna be pain? Let's see what's our git status. I have changes in tools.zig. Oh, wait a second. I mean the standalone branch. Okay, wait a second. So git switch master. Wait, no, I think it's main. Pool, okay. So well, YOLO, right? Unterminated substitute pattern. God damn it. Oh, if you're using BSD sed with the following sed -I quote. Yep. Yep. Seems that we did it right. Okay, let me do this. Git switch standalone. Okay, let's go back to our main change. Okay, so we have our changes here. So we did change that. But after doing that, then next we need to change how the document generation stuff works. So that is in docgen. Or related files. If it's not docgen, it might be something else in Zine. Does it compile? Yes, it currently probably does compile because we're not using that thing. Or rather, no. It hasn't introduced regressions because we're not using that command. The command that now is a rest is docgen. It's the docgen command that tries to generate documentation. The problem is that the docgen command is also affected by the other compile errors. So I know that I need to fix this. So I'm going to do this now, but then we'll need to circle back to fix it. So somewhere in here, we are, I think it's here. You see how we do t.description? That t.description or even v.description, one of these things, if not all of them, needs to become docs description. Actually, this one, no. I think this one, yes. Oh, this one might be no. R is a reference. Yeah, I think this one doesn't need. Only one of them needed to be changed. I think it's this one, but no, I think there's a second one though. I think it's this one, the other one. Okay, so I think this is the other change. We'll see once we fix all the other things. Okay, let's tackle these other problems. So we have a pointer thing inside a Ziggy parser. So I guess we need to push on our stack. Change in Zine which Ziggy we're using. Use a local Ziggy. Go into Ziggy. I'm in that branch. Do we have any PR about this stuff? Oh shit. Quoted string is the first quoted string, literals, yeah. Typo. Okay. This was merged. Interesting. but it was merged in a corresponding branch. Okay, so basically what we want to do is merge this branch into master. Oh, that entails some changes to known folders, changes to Zig LSP kit, like the dependencies, which versions we're depending on, and then this is doing the uppercase, lowercase work. Yeah, okay, so that's awesome. Turns out we don't need to do anything ourselves, I guess. We git pull, and let's see. No, we don't need this. Let's see if we made any progress. Ziggy parser, no field names, uppercase, slice, pointer size. What? Wait, was this not fixed in the branch? That branch was being actively used. I'm surprised that this has not fixed everything. Let's see. Christoph IT Ziggy source Ziggy parser 98 no field name uppercase slice. Yeah, why is this still uppercase? I guess it's on us. This was actually all merged. Like, how is this possible? Oh, I know how this is possible. We are probably looking at some other dependency that I think depends on Ziggy. No, that's our Ziggy on disk. What the heck? Wait. Yeah, this is all lowercase stuff. What are you smoking? 98. Oh. So there were actually some branches that were not being updated correctly. That's what's happening, I think. Okay, let's continue with what we've been told. 310 default value. Oh, there's no default value. Now, the problem is if I do go to definition here, I'm going to see the 013 version. That's annoying. You know what we need to do? We need to do this, I guess. I do have Zig 1, but I guess we can do Zig up. Default. Let's see. Zig up list. And print it on the index JSON. No, I want to list install versions, download the version. What's it called then? Unstable? Master? Okay. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to restart this. Go to line, what is it? 310. Oh, you know what? We might need to update also ZLS itself. But now it sends me to the right place. There's no default value anymore. Oh no. Okay, let's see. Struct has layout, backing integer fields, decals, is tuple. But then we're looking at fields definition. So struct field. Now it's default value PTR, and there's a default value function. That's what we want, basically. I guess the default value function. Oh, that was I expected this to be a pointer. Okay, you know what? Let's use the old access. Let's keep it as it was before. Okay. So well, let's continue our journey. 386. Serializer. 58. Now stop name docgen. God damn it. Debug is true. Oh, you're right. It's because docgen only exists in the Zine website. But you know what? Oh, it's okay. Let's continue with this stuff. Zig build serve. We'll check docgen functionality last. It's fine. Expected statement found invalid token. Yo. Union built-in type. Context.zig in a dependency. Oh, it's a tab. You think so? Uppercase union, uppercase struct, file type.zig, file type.zig, blah blah blah. This dependency, I think we are looking at some. I think that's probably the flow stuff. Okay, so there's a bunch. Okay, at this point, you know what I'm gonna do, I think. Let's go through the list methodically, I guess, at this point. So Ziggy, let's commit the situation, git status. Push that. Fetch save Ziggy. Okay, in order. SuperMD. Let's look at the repo also. In case we have PRs or stuff like that pending. Dude? Okay. So we have issues. 3-seater grammar for NeoWim not working. October 26. Spaces and script descriptions. Yeah. There's actually a workaround for this that I didn't know about. But I guess we can leave that for later. So, okay, SuperMD is fine. Does it have dependencies? Yeah, it does. It depends on Scripty, SuperHTML, and Ziggy and GFM. Okay, so this is not a leaf dependency. So we did Ziggy. Then I guess we can either look at SuperHTML or Scripty. At this point, you know what? Let's do Scripty. So now SuperMD. Let's go into Scripty. Git pull. Let's look at the repo. So push one level deeper. Scripting doesn't have dependencies, I believe. Oh, it does. Well, AFL kit. Okay, that's fine. Zig build test. There we go. Can I even do this? What's the name of the flag? Oh, F incremental. Oh, dash dash watch? Wait, really? That is cool. Let's see if this is actually really cool or just a little bit cool. So I guess we want this also. Prominent compile. Is it a dash, right? Prominent compile errors. How do I put this? Like, oh, I wish I could do like a wait. Close terminal. Let's do a split. How do you do that? View, window. Actually, I should know. It's something like Control D. No, Control Shift D. There we go. Types.zig 52. Next. No filling pointer 81. I'm actually curious. Would CFMT solve this automatically? I probably need to fix that first. God damn it. It won't? Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Line 14. Okay. F-type variable has decal. Types line 18. What's the problem? No field name uppercase struct. Or here. Okay. Then we have problems in fuzz. Test value expected to arguments found 1. That's probably my regression that I introduced a while ago. Accepted error union type found VM test value. Okay, let's see if we can fix this. So context line 90. Okay, what's the problem? Line 90. This is a function. This is from test value from. Okay, this guy wants 2 arguments, but in VM 304. No, in context 67. We pass only 1. Okay, expected error union value found VM test value. Because it doesn't try. Okay. But this is actual correct code. So the problem is that this test value is wrong. This signature needs to potentially return an error. It actually does. Like, what the fuck? Expected error union type found VM test value. Bro? I'm confused. My signature says that I can return an error. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Oh, really from... what is going on here? Am I going insane? From is a function that returns an error. What are you talking about? Sure, in here we never actually return an error. But we did mark the function as potentially returning an error. Like if this wasn't here, then I get the problem. Oh no, bro. Oh no, bro. Oh no, bro. Bro. Is this a compiler panic? This is also... Oh, that's probably specific of watch, I guess. Yeah, expected error union value found VM test value. Oh, wait. Okay, I get it. I get what the problem is. So this is fine. But then there's another one. That's a VM test value. There's another one that has the same problem. There we go. And the watcher panicked, but Zig build test. Now we test. Now we test correctly. Okay. Oh my god, there's a ton of stuff. Wait a second. Git status out dash zig. VS Code launch.json. What? I probably did that. Let's not do that anymore. There we go. And these are the only fixes. Okay, one dependency down. So Scripty is done. GFM. Let's see how GFM fares. Oh, I don't have GFM. Let's say it's called CMark GFM. Okay. Does the Zig build succeed at all? It does. Okay, so this guy seems fine. It doesn't contain any Zig other than the build script, I believe. So this is good or not much in any case. So this is fine. This is fine. So now we have SuperHTML. Let's see what SuperHTML depends on. Because SuperHTML, I think, has a bunch of dependencies. It depends on LSP kit. Okay, it depends on known folders, Scripty and AFL kit. Okay, let's look at the issues on SuperHTML. Add installation instructions. Did anybody try to update to 0.14? No. People pointed out that the SuperHTML is in brew now. List. Not such keg. Do we do update? Fatal couldn't find remote ref. Refs had master. Ooh, by the way, we're also on YouTube. Everything is fine on YouTube, so that's good. Okay. I think I got lied to. I don't see SuperHTML mentioned in here at all. Okay, what were people saying on Discord? Wait, let me, I don't remember what I was looking at Discord. I don't want to leak private messages. Look at scene. Oops. Programming. There we go. Correct scene. Was that to Homebrew today 3 days ago? Can we see that? Homebrew GitHub, I guess. Yeah, what's the index? I'm assuming that the index is a repository on here. I actually don't know that for sure. I'm assuming that's the case though. Package. Index. This is the website, of course. Yeah, okay. Index is giving me the index page. Where do they put the index? I guess the answer is let's look at what they say you have to do to add a package. Common documentation, free documentation, community discussion, blog, packages, formula. Oh, so they have this stuff inside of core. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so this is it. Just quick scroll. Merged. Oh, it was actually mentioned. Fuck. Oh, but it's inside Super HTML. No, wait, that makes sense. Oh, it was an issue, not APR. Okay. What? Why does it? Why did it work for them? No such keg. Well, you know what? It's fine. I guess we can close this. Let me see if I'm getting their name right. Chen 333. Preview. Yep. Okay. Close with comment. Then. Oh, you're right. Maybe it's only for installed. Yeah, that's a good point. Wait, how do you search them for stuff? Oh, it's the first fucking thing up here. I just did not see it. Yep. Holy shit. It's in there. Cool. So this is done. What's next? Yep, not installed from analytics. Wow. 25 installs. Well, what can I say? I have 25 users. I guess macOS users who either don't use VS Code or in any case want the CLI version because the VS Code version doesn't require you to have the executable on your system. Out of curiosity, how are things going on the marketplace? 1,400 installations. Cool. Okay, we'll come back to SuperHTML in the future. Even if it works, it needs some updating. Are you talking about specific features that I know I'm using that I should not be using anymore that were deprecated? Or is this like a general comment? If you have any specific thing, I can look into it. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Well, actually, wait. Have I updated SuperHTML? I probably haven't. Let me in any case try and do it. Sig build test. Please tell me that I didn't like regress tests and never fix them. No, I did not. Everything seems fine. So awesome. Half of executable options are deprecated. I see. Oh, you know what? Oh, they've been moved to add module. Okay. Okay, as long as it keeps working, it's fine for now. So SuperHTML is fine, apparently, at least when it comes to tests. What is going to be the next thing on our list? I think now that all of this is fixed, then now we can do SuperMD itself. Although, you know what's sus a little bit? That we need to update our dependencies. So let's update our dependencies. That's one thing they want to know. They want to do for sure. I guess we want to get latest known folders and latest scripty. Oh, oops. Okay. So SuperHTML seems to have been updated. Then let's go into SuperMD. SuperHTML, Ziggy, Scripty. I guess we want to update all three of them. Scripty, Ziggy, SuperHTML. I don't even know if I have a test for this guy. I do. And we do have a build error. That's nice. Let's fix it. Oh, we have more. And more. Okay. Expected type info, type of, error union, error set. So an error union with a context value found instead context directive built-ins ID call struct something. Oof. What? Oh, I get what's going on. Oh no. Okay, it's not a big change. But yeah, this is something that doesn't work anymore. Right. So here's what was going on. I was creating an anonymous struct literal, and then I wanted to return as a value. And previously, these guys would coerce. Like you could use these guys and coerce them into a specific struct type. But now this whole system doesn't exist anymore. So previously, these guys would be matched by shape. So that's the weird thing. In Zig, normally structs don't match by shape. If you have two structs that have the same shape, but have been defined in different locations, they are not the same struct, even though they are the exact same shape. Here, this is a anonymous struct literal. And so it doesn't really have an associated type, or rather, I'm kind of leaving it unbound, undefined. And so previously, because of that, Zig would say, well, okay, you know what? I will do shape-based matching of your struct literal to see if this thing could pass as a value struct. But this whole logic was thrown out the window, so it's not there anymore, so you have to do this. That's actually the entirety of it. Like, this one still works. This one still works because this guy is defined in a context where the type can be derived, right? This is the return value, so the return value has to be this value. We don't do this, but it's clear, it's obvious that this has to be this. While this guy was being left unbound, technically you could say that Zig could look at future use of it. Like Zig could say, okay, this is undefined, not yet known, but then we look at this usage case, and this usage case binds it back to this value, and so we know that this is the value. Technically, Zig could do that. It doesn't do that. It's in my opinion a good thing that it doesn't do that. It's like weird as fuck in my opinion doing this kind of thing. Better save compile times and not implement that shit and just have people write down the value that they need to. In any case, as you understand, right, the logic is different, right? One thing is to say, oh, this is left undecided, and so we do shape-based coercion afterwards, versus like doing backwards reasoning, forwards and backwards reasoning. It's different, or rather, maybe in this case it doesn't make much of a difference. It's maybe a little bit philosophy, but in other contexts, it results in different behavior, and so that's why I was fine with one more than with the other. In any case, neither is there anymore. So now you're going to be explicit with your types. Guess we have another one, 220. Oh, wait, now we gained ZLS errors. Let's fucking go. Let result double, -1, +1, 6 seconds to type check. Nice. Good language. I don't know what's wrong with TypeScript. Sorry, with Swift. It used to be a normal language, a productive one, I think. At least it felt that way to me. I guess that's the short way of doing it. Okay. $25 hours. Jesus Christ. Okay. There we go. Nice. Oh, fuck. Okay, so with this we did SuperMD. I think we kind of went through everything, or at least most things. There's probably more, by the way. How Felix feels for you? How long it took you removing Maskell from memory from Vim keybinds? Well, path. My secret is that I never learned Vim keybinds. Helix is the first modern editor that I actually learned to use. Well, I did use Vim for a bit, but not long enough to really internalize the keybinds. The answer is that I like Helix. I'm having a good experience. I think in my case, the problem is that I feel like personally, I'm a person that is a lot affected by cognitive dissonance, meaning if things are not well laid out, it becomes hard for me to learn things when things are more complicated than I think they should be. So, for example, Vim has, in my opinion, the problem in terms of like discoverability that keybinds have grown organically over time in ways that to me seems non-obvious. Plus the fact that as you install extensions, then you decide the keybinds, and extensions don't know about one another, so you kind of have to, have to avoid conflicts. You have to solve those conflicts yourselves, and so you need basically to have a well-developed keybind brain to be able to do that properly, which I don't have, which I've never developed. So what I enjoyed from Helix is that the keybinds are laid out, in my opinion, in a fairly logical way. There's like help menus, right, that show you exactly what it is that you can do everywhere, and it kind of makes sense. Like G is the go-to button, and so everything under G is pretty much a go-to thing. Contrast this with Vim. With Vim, you press G, and then some things are go-to, some other things are something else. And so, long story short, Helix was easy enough for me to learn. I used Vim for a while. I was able to do some basic stuff, and I learned a little bit of it. But then I tried out Helix, and it was just more noob-friendly in that sense. And for now I'm sticking with it. So yeah. Okay, what are we doing here? We have updated our dependencies. Let's take a look at what we have. SuperMD, script, SuperHTML. So the suspicious stuff is this stuff here. Meme, WS, Zeit, flow syntax, and woofs. AFL kit, it's fine if we don't update it for now, because I'm fuzzing is like optional, very optional stuff. It's a lazy dependency, so it's fine. But the rest needs to be updated. So I guess let's update the Zeit. Let's see. Hey, I'm like, yes. By the way, I crashed the watcher a bunch of times. I tried to run everything with --watch, and it loves pooping itself. Yo, Dave! I'm spending today working on the UI with Z014. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you probably want to do that, because I imagine you're also a delicious user of, or rather, a user of delicious ComTime code. So you might want to, do that. macOS Watcher bed. Yeah. You know what's funny though? To be fair, I think the Zine one occasionally also crashes. So. Okay, so we updated Zeit. Let's update flow syntax. I don't know if this stuff was updated at all. Maybe they have another branch. I guess we'll discover this as we fail. Neurosite, and then woofs maybe. Although all your code base is probably not updated. Woofs is up to date. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how far we get. No module named Ziggy available within module root dependencies. Referenced by source context page. So page tries to import Ziggy, but it seems that we don't have that in that context. This is a normal Zig build serve. So this has to trace back to our build script for the layout executable. Actually, I'm not sure what we were trying to build when that failed. Wait, let's scroll up because I think the summary will tell us precisely. Yeah, we failed. Well, we failed building the server because we failed to build layout. Okay, so this is indeed the main executable. And layout is defined in... I think it's tools. Yeah, there we go. So, how comes that we put Ziggy in our layout root module as an import and then we fail to find it? No module name Zig available within module at root.add dependencies, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here is the funky thing that we're doing with Ziggy, I believe. I'm grabbing Ziggy. Let's see, where do we grab Ziggy from? No, wait, it's my dependency. Maybe layout is not root. No, layout is root. So we are trying to build this executable. And layout, it is indeed the root module. Like, unless I misunderstood the error message and I got... let's add dash verbose also. So we can see also the invocation and be more precise. Apparently we can't see the invocation. What? You know what? Let's do f reference trace equals 19. Okay. Build. We're hitting Zim build. Content. Context page. Wait a second. No, we are not fading. Okay, this is kind of interesting. I think I understand what's going on. This maybe fails to build. Yes. No, but wait a second. No, we actually got into the running phase, right? When we do this, when this is shown, it means that we got into the running phase. We were actually running the build. But now I'm not getting... I don't see a message, right, that says, "Oh yeah, see, this is the invocation that failed," and the reference trace is just pointing at the build script. It's not pointing. I would expect that at some point to get into tools or something like that. Instead, it's saying content and then context 65. I guess let's look at context 65 at this point. Although context.zig, I think this is the wrong context. Is it? No, it's correct, but no, content 996. Okay, content. That's where we want to be. 996. Yeah. Okay, in content, I'm saying, okay, I think this is at least one of the problems. In content, I'm saying, yeah, give me... I'm going to use the type page. And the type page is causing us to check the import Ziggy stuff, even though technically we probably should not be using that, or it should be available to us, the Ziggy import, and it is. So what is the problem? As I was mentioning, comp time. So in my case, I'm not doing anything particularly crazy with comp time. In my case, I think that the biggest, the most complicated part is the interaction between the build system, build time, build scripts, and my other stuff. Oh my god, that is so annoying. What if we don't do this? Oh, but custom is Ziggy dynamic value. But we do have. Okay, I think I get what the problem is. The problem is that somehow this Ziggy import is considered different than this Ziggy import, which, to be fair, it's not wrong. It is different. But it used to work out correctly. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah. Freak. Uh, maybe updated the Ziggy dependency in one place but not in the other. No, because I don't think so. Let me think. Look, uh, look, Amlag. This is one of the most like reasonable uses of it, in my opinion. Basically, what I'm doing is that I'm exposing the library itself, also in the build script, and so Matt, while you're here, tell me if this is something that you're aware of. So here's why I'm thinking I'm having trouble. The weirdest stuff that I'm doing in my case here is trying to mix um, stuff that happens during the build script execution and I guess stuff that happens, once you build an actual executable, as in like a build artifact, like add executable, that kind of stuff. So here's what's going on. I have a build script. Let me see if we can get to it. Content, I guess that was it, right? 995. So this is a part of a build script. So in my build script, at some point, I'm creating some like lists of pages, and I'm using context.page as a type. Context.page is this file, which does depend on Ziggy, and it's imported both in the build script to provide this type definition. Although in this case, Ziggy is the Ziggy build file. It's not the root. It's not the root file. And then this file, context.page, is also used as part of the creation of an executable. So if we look at tools, that page is both used by the build script and also part of this guy. It's part of the root module of this executable. And previously, this worked fine. Like I could pass. Like Ziggy technically would be different things at different points in time, but the shape was the same, so it was good enough. And now, instead, what I'm getting is this. No module name Ziggy available within module root dependencies something something. So it's telling me that I can't do page.zig, import Ziggy from page.zig. But looking at the reference trace, it seems that this is happening not in, how can I say, this is happening at config time, right? We are running the build script at this point. And this is because we are running content. Content.zig is the file that contains the bulk of the build logic of Zine. And in here, we are importing context.zig and then page. But something has changed in the semantics of this stuff. So I guess a solution could be, actually, I don't know, like, why is this even pooping itself? Like, what is the problem? That part I don't get. Let's see. So do you have add module Ziggy twice? Do I? I don't have add module anywhere actually, but do I have two different definitions of Ziggy? I don't think I do. You're doing something very jank. Why is it even jank? It shouldn't be jank. It should be fine. I can have more shortly when backup PC. Okay. So in theory, in content, like starting from the build stuff, I should be able to do import Ziggy. You know what I think is going on? I think I understand maybe what's going on. It's like the something has changed in how the import chain in the build script stuff is being handled, I think, or at least according to what the message seems to imply. Okay, out of curiosity, what if I go into page and we don't do this? We do const Ziggy equals I don't know, struct maybe. Struct that contains something like this. There's probably more stuff that we don't have, or KV wants KV. Now let's complain about this in content. Right, because content. Okay, wait, this is more interesting. Content is unable to import Ziggy? What? I think this is showing us that there's something else going on. What the heck? Do we not have script Ziggy in here anymore? Is it this stupid, the problem? The problem is this fucking stupid? Bro. That's the problem. Yeah, but that wasn't me. That was Zig Fetch. Guys, that's Zig Fetch going insane. What the fuck is he doing? Bro. Mystery solved. Forgot the hash. You don't have to specify the hash. This is a regression in ZigFetch. I think that ZigFetch has a logic bug in it now that doesn't turn path imports into URLs. Bro. Okay, we still have problems in our dependencies. So what's this dependency? Let's figure out what is this dependency. Whew. Scripty has more of that? What? Pointer in types 97. Oh, god damn it. What was the zigfetch command you ran? The normal one. Zigfetch. Oh, wait. Zigfetch dash save space git plus name of the thing. But what made it weird, like the real source of the problem, is that in Zigfetch edits your zone file. So there's a bug that is not changing. Previously it was set to .path, right? You either have .path or you have. But there's another constructing scripting. God damn it. Okay. So either you have .path or you have URL and hash. And so when you run Zigfetch, it should edit your stuff, but then it should turn path into URL and hash. And it didn't do that correctly. I think it's just a regression in how fetch works. And so no, the hash is not necessary. When you run the zigfetch command and you don't pass anything else afterwards, it will automatically resolve that to latest commit. Thank you. Okay, now everything that depends on scripting needs to be updated. Is it SuperMD? It does. But it also depends on SuperHTML, so let's do SuperHTML first. Okay, made some progress. Okay, let's see what dependency is this one. I bet you it's woofs or flow syntax. That's flow syntax. Okay, let's see if there's a flow syntax for 014. Oh. Branch? Branch Zig 014. Let's go. That's our boy. So check this out. Zig fetch, neurosite flow syntax, pound sign, Zig 014. Was that it? That was the name of the branch, right? So that works. Okay. Next problem. Oh, we have bad arg shit. Oh no. Oh, we have that in Zine itself. Oh no. Okay. That's fair. We probably have more things of this kind. This is another dep that we need to do something about. This is, I mean, connection keeper live upgrade. What is this? Yeah, this is WebSocket. Was that one updated? Oh no. Oh, it's WebSocket. I'm dumb. Okay, so we just zig fetch that one. Is that it? Oh shit, I didn't name it WS though. Okay, let's go edit the zone file. So all WS goes away. New WS goes in. Okay. Now we have to fix our own stuff. So site.zig. Okay, so this guy's good. Next. Nice quality of life upgrade would be to see name of dependency under the full path instead of checking inside every time. I think there is a proposal to change the file path format to go from just a hash to be a hash that also contains the dependency name when possible, so that it becomes more clear, more easy to understand what's there. I think it was even accepted. I'm actually surprised that it's not implemented yet. I thought that it would be in 014 maybe, but I guess not. To have more bad args, what's this page? There's probably more examples of that. So build. Let's go global search. Const bad arg space equal sign. String asset map iterator. Oh, it changes what I search for. That's annoying. Yeah, it changes what I search for. That's funny. I guess I can do this. Okay. Access type found, comptime type. Oh, so now the way we use the WebSocket server has changed because the interface of it has changed. That's annoying. Then we have argument error in date time. Then let's take a look at the reloader then. So we're using, what line is it? 17. So we're using on line 17 WS server wrong. Why? No definition found. Oh, ZLS, come on. You could be nicer than this. Can't go to definition. That's unfortunate. Okay, what's the usage then? You pass handler as a type to ws.server and then you call init on it. Okay. I do have a handler. It has connection and context, app and connection. Bro, okay. I have to say, given how little we use this library, it's annoying that the interface changed. It's fair, but it is annoying that the interface changed. Yeah, this is not going to be enough to make it happy. But okay, daytime. Ah. So now we're succeeding at building layout. Oof. Oh, that's actually print logging. Oh, right. It's because I did verbose. So let's take this stuff out. Let's do summary all. So everything works except the WebSocket stuff. Honestly, I expected worse. Well, let's wait until we see the actual website, how that looks like. But so far, everything seems fine. Yeah, the WebSocket stuff, huh? You know what's funny? Scott Reddick did the work to get rid of the WebSocket stuff in his. He has a fork of the Zine dev server. He has like a standalone version of it, and he got rid of the WebSocket server stuff in it. And you know what? Maybe I should take inspiration from that. He's working on it. I have the repo because it's like the plan is to eventually get rid of the embedded one and then use the one split off, but I'm not there yet. Zig Live web server. Let's see, what did he do in Reloader? Wait, where's Reloader? There's no Reloader. Oh god, he restructured stuff. WebSocket. Oh, he created his own WebSocket.zig. Init. Read message, write message. Read message returns bytes. What does init do? Does he do also the handshake? Oh yeah, he does the handshake. Maybe we can integrate this back momentarily. Yeah, maybe we should just steal this code temporarily and then yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Straight up evil stealing. Okay, let's see how we use this stuff. I guess we care about listen on input change. Connection of write on output change. Arrow writing to WebSocket. So connection of write. We try to create a WebSocket server in here, which we don't need to do anymore. But I guess we need to expect a WebSocket connection then. begin to us. I guess we don't start from... Okay, wait. Let's start from the top. Let's start from the server itself. So the server itself now is kind of doing some of this stuff. Spawns a reloader, handle WS. Okay. And we pass this stuff. I guess we don't need any more to do the key stuff. Maybe we grab the key. Well, we'll see. In any case, request. So from reloader, we call handle WS. And here we were creating a connection. And then we're calling web server.handle. I have to say this API from Scott seems much more in line with what we're looking for. Unfortunately, it requires me to change how my code works. Oh my god, all this restructuring is annoying. I was hoping to like fix this quickly, like just a few lines change and just simplify things, but it's annoying. The problem with this handler here is that this also has some logic in it. That is so annoying. Okay, wait a second. What if we undid this? Okay, let's return to what we were doing before. Server is a server of type handler. What happens next with our real stuff? That we can't do server.init. Oh, that's actually fair. Line 37. No field or name function named newcon. The server doesn't have a function to give me a new connection. I think that this is where I was trying. So, but by the way, I'm trying to. I changed strategy, right? Now I'm trying to say, okay, let's see if we can adapt to the new API and not go insane. Server doesn't have a new connection. Now, where is server defined? Server.server, server.zig. Server.zig. Does it have something that looks like new connection? Even though it's not new connection, there's init. There's listen. Oh, shit. Well, if you do listen, though, listen will basically create new connections, right? And it probably used to do that with a function call, and now blocking mode. Stop. Handle connection. Shut down, non-blocking. Okay, wait a second. Let's see again how this stuff is supposed to work. So create a server, init to instantiate it. Small pool. Blocking mode cannot utilize a small buffer pool, using per connection buffer instead. Oh no, it has workers. Oh no. Like, oh no, this library is becoming more and more complicated. Jesus. Underscore handle connection. Read loop shutdown, non-blocking. Okay, you know what? I explored this path also a little bit. I think I'm ready to commit with the Scott implementation path. This is too much. Compared to what we need, it's absolutely too much. I don't need a WebSocket server. An input change. But we do need we do need something, right? So we need a connection. What was I calling here? I was calling what? I was calling con.write. Where does con come from? Wait, go to definition. Con is self client's entries get IDX key. Right, because there could be multiple clients. How does this work in Scott's implementation then? Oh, I guess I already have that. Okay. Oh, I think this is fine. So this is a connection. Does it need pointers or can I inline this? I think I should inline this. It has a stream. It has a mutex. Oh, fuck. If it has a mutex, I can't inline it because it's going to move. I need to heap allocate it, I guess. Then... so init gives a connection. Okay. Okay, you know what? It's I think I'm starting to grok everything. So we do have clients. We don't need the fucking server anymore. Then yeah, we're gonna be able to grab our connections and call stuff on them. Then what we care about now is handle WS. So handle WS now needs to be changed to basically produce connections and I guess append them to our stuff. Are we not doing that really? Let's see. Stream. This writes stuff to the stream, then calls WS server new connection. Oh, it calls handler.init. I bet you that the handler.init is the one that does the appending. Yeah, look at this bad boy. This bad boy is doing the appending. Okay. So, okay, let's say that this is, let's fix this part. So we get a new HTTP request. We want to turn it into a connection. So let's do this. Const con equals, I need to heap allocate this guy. So let's start doing this. So connection is, wait, can I do init? I can do init now. Man, this is hardcore Zig 1.4, huh? Sorry, 0.14. Dot init, and then I pass a pointer to a request. Okay. I pass the request. I think we don't do any of this stuff. What does this do then? Oh, this tries to grab the sec WebSocket key from headers. Yep. Can I do this? Right. Then hasher final, response streaming, flush, and then returns a connection struct. That's cool. Okay. So I guess then we want to do some of the stuff we were doing here in init, which is this we do here. I think we are killing handler basically. We don't need handler anymore, I think. Yeah, we take the connection. We save it in our hash map. Then we need to handle closing and everything else. Let's see. How does that work? So there's write text, write message. Then there's read message. And then there's close. But we were handling closing, I think, from the client. We were doing swap remove. Okay, we'll see about that in a moment, I guess. Okay, so we have put the connection in there. So now on input change, we do things and then we try to write. And then we swap remove in case the connection, writing to connection fails. And then on output change, I guess the only thing that we are not doing is that we are not like, we're not correctly draining messages from we're not correctly draining messages from those connections anymore. So I guess the only component that we're missing with this new system is something that drains. Also, we can't do connection of write anymore. We need to do, let's see, this gets the connection. The connection here has a write lock. Although, right with header, okay, here is where the lock is used. Okay. Read message. Not thread safe, must be only called by one thread at a time. So I guess what we can do is, what? Just we spin up a thread and we keep reading, I guess. Why isn't it thread safe? Well, because usually you don't have multiple threads try to read from the same thing concurrently. Because if you do that, then you're kind of like not specifying a sequence in who should read what when. And then it means that they get like in a TCP connection, for example, where you don't even have messages, you just have, it's a stream, right? So you just have bytes. You have some bytes that go here, some bytes that go there. And like it makes, basically, it would make no sense. Most of the time, you don't want to read like that. So in practice, you just have one reader, usually for a connection. You don't have multiple concurrent readers. The problem is, I believe that if we just read from the connection without thinking much, so here's the part that I'm sure about. Like, how do I guess I can spin up one thread per connection and keep reading that stream. But you kind of would want to say, well, I don't want to spin up a thread every time there's a connection. Why aren't you restricting a stream to a single thread? So I could do one thread per. Okay, so first of all, keep in mind, I don't care about messages coming in from the WebSocket. The current protocol that Zine uses to communicate with the browser, it's very one-sided. It's like basically, I don't think there's even a handshake happening right now. It's like it's just you connect, and then from that moment you get pumped from the server to the client updates on files that change, and that's it. So I want to read messages from clients just to drain whatever they send me. But I don't really care about processing it correctly or anything. I could do, ideally, I would like to create one single thread that keeps reading and like just discarding everything. Hey, Matt. Yeah, no, we solved it. So it's a bug in Zig fetch. Apparently, I had my dependency in my zone file set to .path. I had, what is it? Ziggy was set to .path. Like this. And then I ran Zig fetch, and Zig fetch put this URL inside the .path value. It did not switch from .path to URL and hash. And that was what was causing trouble, because then, because of that, it was pointing at a location that doesn't exist, and so it couldn't find the root file. So like everything was cascading from there. I feel like that the message should have been something along the lines of "Where the fuck are the files, dude?" Instead of what I saw. But in any case, that was the problem. So it's a bug in Zig fetch. Although to be clear, I have. Oh, it's not even that old. I have a fairly recent version of unstable Zig, so this bug is probably still there. You can repro it by having. Okay, I don't know if there's any more complicated setup to trigger it, but in my case, I think it's just like have a dependency set to path, then try to Zig fetch it to a repo and see what happens. So as I was saying, I would like to have a single thread that keeps draining all these WebSockets. But the problem is that to do that, I need non-blocking reading, because if I do have blocking reading, then yeah, good fucking luck to me, because it's gonna block. So, what can we do about this? By fairly recent, you mean 47 comments ago? Well, I built Zig from scratch. What was that? Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? So it's like, it's a version of Zig within the last 7 days. So despite everything, it's not ancient. Yeah, so I either I set up like non-blocking IO, which I don't have an easy way of doing because everything will be everything is started in blocking mode up until here, so we can't change that at this point. So yeah, I'll just spin up a thread per connection and call it a day. I guess we can do it here. Thread spawn. No, normal config is fine. Function I want to spawn. Connection is a ws.connection pointer to. And in here, we keep calling read, I guess. And then we, while true, about errors. What do we do about errors? I guess we can just return them for now. It's fine. Con.read message. Wants a buffer. So we read the message, and on catch, we actually don't even need to try like on catch return. Like, we don't care. Although we want to close the connection at this point. Maybe it's already closed, but we want to try and close it. Can we do close? Yeah. Oh, what's the problem? Oh, here, syntax. Try AWS. Arguments is just the connection. Okay, so this is how we drain this stuff. We close. We're not doing a good job at resource cleanup. The problem with resource cleanup is that to do a good job, yeah, we need to handle the coordination between read and write, which is super fucking annoying. So for now, let's fucking leak. It's fine. We're gonna fix that later on, but it's definitely yeah, to do. Stop leaking. Okay. So this part is okay. Is done. Yeah, the problem, unfortunately, is that I can't just lock the hash map and take the connection out, because if I do that, there might be somebody trying to write to it in the meantime, so they might be stuck in there, and it's worse because I could lock, take out the value, the connection, and then grab also the write lock. I could grab the write lock, and that way I know that there wouldn't be somebody actively trying to write to it. The problem is that there might be somebody queued up waiting to grab that lock. And the problem is that if we free that thing, that's UB. So unfortunately, it's Seems compilation is much faster now. I'm not sure if there has been any big improvements in compilation speed. Well, I can tell you that the really fast stuff is not in yet. Like, you need incremental to see real to see real fast. I also tested rebuilding my particle simulation using SimD. There's only one error. Ran random. Nice. Good for you. Wait, are you using SimD as in? Are you using intrinsics? As in, I guess. Well, wait. Can you even use intrinsics in our case? Intrinsics would be like C stuff, right? Sorry, let me take that back. Are you using inline assembly, or are you using vector? Vectors, nice. how do you learn memory management? I've only used JavaScript and Go, but I want to learn something like Zig. You learn memory management kind of by doing it, meaning, first of all, you need to become used to understanding pointers. You already probably have a general understanding of pointers because that's kind of all you use in JavaScript. And well, in Go, you use them explicitly. But in JavaScript, everything is a pointer, so you are already used to pointer semantics. The problem is that you might not be used to using them explicitly. Go does give you some of that. But so it starts with understanding pointers. Then you need to understand how memory works. What's the stack versus what's the heap. Once you do that, then you can use memory allocators, and you understand when things will survive and when things will die. So for example, if you declare an array, like here, you see that I'm declaring an array in this while loop, right? If I were to do this, if I were to return a pointer to this buffer, maybe because there's a string in there, right? Let's say that I'm very naive and I do this actually. Let's say if some condition, and if that condition is true, then I do return message. Well, guess what? The problem is that this message is a bunch of bytes. Message is a slice, not a Go. Slices in Go, and in every freaking programming language, I have nothing to do with slices in Go. Slices in Go are like a weird beast. So also beware of that. In any case, a message is a slice. It's a pointer into this memory, right? Because we have a buffer of 4 kilobytes. Some of them are going to be used to read a message. And so basically from 0 up to, I don't know, let's say that the message is 100 bytes. So from 0 to 100 is going to be my string. So that's what MSG represents. So let's say they have a line where I say, under a specific condition, I'm going to return that slice. The problem is that I'm returning a pointer to this memory. This memory lives inside this function. As soon as this function returns, this memory is going to be reclaimed. So when you want for things to live longer, well, either you declare the buffer higher up in the call stack, or you use heap allocation. So for example, here I'm creating a connection. Where's handle WS? Wait, it was actually there. So here, for example, I want to create a connection, but if I create it on the stack here in this function frame, then it's gonna become garbage as soon as the function returns. So that's why I'm using an allocator. I'm using GPA, and then I'm calling the create method on it. Allocators in Zig have either create or alloc. And so that means that this guy will live longer than this function. So that's the kind of stuff that you need to get acquainted, you need to get used to. After that, then that opens the door to designing your programs, designing the memory layout of your types. And that part is going to be initially potentially confusing because it might not immediately obvious to you whether, a struct should contain another struct embedded into it, or instead it should contain a pointer to that struct, and the implications of these design differences. And the answer is that you basically iron this stuff out just by doing it. So once you get to that point, you need just to get some experience under your belt, and at that point, you will have learned memory management. Sounds like designing a database schema. To some degree, yes. To some degree is the same general set of problems, although the mechanics are a little bit different, meaning that in a SQL database, you have to deal with SQL semantics. With your computer, you have to deal with, well, I guess your computer's semantics. So it's still less abstracted than database stuff. I would say that database stuff is more complicated than memory management. Inherently, it's inherently more complicated because we're dealing with a database. It's already heavily abstracted. They weird as fuck. You don't know how they function inside. So you've been told a bunch of rules of thumb that you don't know exactly to what degree they hold. To be fair, it's not like by doing manual memory management you will learn everything about your computer. There's still going to be details that you don't know about, and chip manufacturers, they're also doing weird shit that you don't exactly know what it is that they're doing. But overall, it's much more grounded in reality what you do with manual memory management compared to a database. That said, a lot of things transfer from one to the other, interestingly enough. Like, for example, the difference between OLTP and OLAP. So, row-oriented databases versus column-oriented databases, right? Where a row-oriented database is good for transactional workloads, a column-oriented one is good for analytics. Funnily enough, you can kind of do the same thing with your memory. Well, actually, technically, the same reason why organizing data by row versus by column makes a database better at one or the other thing. That's the same logic that also can be generalized to actual manual memory management. In any case, yeah. So it's totally doable. It's totally learnable. Get some experience. Watch your programs crash. Ask for help. I am writing a book where I do talk about this stuff. It's just that it's gonna take a while. I haven't done yet the memory management chapter. I only completed the first chapter, which, by the way, it's really not gonna take that long for me to publish that. Hopefully. Okay, are we happy now? We can't be happy just like this, right? We have for sure this, which is wrong. We don't need to do this. Oh God, what's going on? Let's see. No field name right. WebSocket connection. Oh, right. I haven't updated the right stuff. I guess it's the right message. Kind. Is it text binary? Yeah. We're just writing text. What's the next of the problems? No field member function. Expect the type void found error out of memory. Okay, wait. So this guy needs to be able to return an error. I guess when we invoke it in server, we also need to try this. Oh shit, wait, we're spawning a thread? I just realized we're already spawning a thread per freaking connection. Why are we spawning another one? We just called RayNWS. Huh. What? Why did it run Borg start? Let's see. I'm reading what to expect from release month. I misread the first time. I thought 0.14 where we get incremental compilation. No, not yet. It's behind a flag. I think the backends are we're getting real close, but we're not quite there yet. So, yeah, I think you need to be patient for one more release cycle. Also, there's another part that is, I think, important to understand, which is that incremental compilation is fucking giga complicated in the sense that, right now the picture is this: source files are your input, and then, well, I guess there's also the cache. So source files and the cache, but the cache can be removed. So let's for a moment assume that the cache doesn't exist, because you can turn it off. So source files invoke the compiler output. Don't like the output, somewhere in this line something went wrong. Not that hard to figure it out. With incremental, you have source files, and then you have compiler that doesn't close after compiling. So compiler produces output and then stays on, and then you change source file. Changing source file will then be picked up by the compiler that stays on. So the previous state also will factor in, right? The previous state of the compiler will factor into what is going to output afterwards. And then on top of all of that, the output file gets modified in place. So you don't create a new output file from scratch, but it gets modified in place. That's the in-place binary patching stuff. So there's a lot of previous state that now the new state depends on that wasn't there. So one of the reasons, so all of this extra complexity is why another thing that Zig is gaining, which is now not yet fully functioning, or rather not yet ready for people to use, but that's fuzzing. So Zig now has fuzzing because probably will need to be fuzzed a bunch to catch errors with incremental. So my point is we're getting real close to having incremental working. It's real. It's almost there. Just be aware that it's a complicated feature. So if it takes a while for it to become solid enough for people to use, that's just how it is. Maybe not. Maybe it's gonna be amazing day one. Who knows? But in any case, the path towards success is very clear, and fuzzing is gonna be is gonna guarantee success. We have another write in Reloader 128. Holy shit, we're almost there. No field name client's lock, instruct watcher, macOS watcher. Really? Actually, nobody has client's lock. I think that's on me. Hey, Temporus. So it's not just incremental compilation already recompiling the minimum required invoking the minimum required when invoking the compiler, but it's also actively hot patching the binary on disk. Yes, it's more than that. Or rather, there's more details that can be added to this picture. So since I know that you consume Rust content, I'll tell you what Rust does, which is something that I think most languages do. So today, Rust is much better at this than Zig, like significantly so. Here's how it works. Actually, you know what? Let's start from C. I'll get to Rust in a moment, but let's start from C. So C, I don't know if they invented it, but like this concept is definitely popular because of C, at least to some degree. But basically, C has this system. You have source files. You have a C source file, right? I'm gonna draw it nicely. Oh my God, look at this art. So this is a C source file. A C source file gets processed as a single compilation unit, which then produces a single object file, a .o file. And you have a bunch of these things, and they all then get linked together. So you have LD. I'll go with uppercase. You have LD that takes all these input files and produces the final exe. So in C, if you only change one C source file, by the way, as always with C, things are not just that way. It's not just that. With C, in reality, you can put multiple C files in a single compilation unit if you want. You can even put all of them in just one compilation unit. That thing is called a union build. Some people want to do it. There's benefits to doing that, but there's also trade-offs. But let's say that the basic one is one C source file becomes one compilation unit. You change only one C source file, only one compilation unit needs to be rebuilt, only one object file needs to be changed, and then everything can be relinked together. Guess what, though? The linker always starts from scratch. So when you even though you change only one object file, the linker does the job from scratch every single time. So this is true in C. This is true in, I think, almost every programming language out there. Rust has kind of the same system, at least at a high level. I think the Rust doesn't do one Rust file means one compilation unit. I think compilation units. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure how Rust files are mapped to compilation units. In any case, Rust does have the concept of compilation units, And so it does cut the source code into, assigns files to different compilation units, and then ultimately it has a linker doing a bunch of the work. You might have heard that people have been saying that they got a good experience in, like, they got faster Rust rebuilds by using the Mold compiler. Mold is the new compiler that Rui Uyama, I actually don't know how to pronounce his surname, but like Rui, he's the author of Mold, which is a new linker that's particularly efficient. And so if instead of using LD, you use Mold, then Mold, hey, Cyberfart, thank you for the resub. Things that can only happen on Twitch, right? You're talking about linking, and then you have to thank Cyberfart. Anyway, has to get a bit clever, because technically the whole crate is a compilation unit, at least before they added incremental compilation. Not sure how they solve incremental compilation. As far as I know, so the last blog post that I heard on this, parsing macro expression, analysis, optimization code gen. So, okay, it might be not super easy to read because this is black on almost black, but you see up here that it says AST, type information MIR, object files. So I'm guessing their MIR units become assigned to object files. So I think that the object files, yeah, I do think that you're right, that object files don't map one-to-one to crates. Is that what you're saying? Crate is a compilation unit. Let's see. Maybe we can search for it. Actually, unit. Compilation splits the code into smaller optimization units than a regular compilation session, resulting in less time optimizing, but also less efficient runtime code. So I guess for incremental, they split it further. Okay, cool. In any case, they have something like this. Okay, what's the picture for Zig right now? The picture for Zig right now is this. For C, we have this. For C, we do this. Every C file becomes a compilation unit, or, you know, whatever weirdo combination you need to come up with for C to be happy, whatever that is, that will produce different compilation units, and they're going to be separate, and they are going to produce intermediate artifacts that do get cached, meaning that, yes, you don't have to rebuild all your C stuff every time you change a file. For Zig, there's only one compilation unit for your entire project, including the standard library, including all your dependencies. Zig does not have compilation units for Zig. Everything goes into one bucket. That means that every time you are rebuilding a Zig program, it's funny because you're also reparsing the standard library. You're like rebuilding also all the parts of the standard library that you're using every single time. So if you think about it, like Zig is not super slow, it's not super fast either, but it's doing a lot of work. There is like pretty much no caching happening when it comes to intermediate artifacts. I think maybe I might be wrong. There might be caching in terms of parsing, but that doesn't matter much. Like the bulk of the meat of the job is semantic analysis, and that thing happens a bunch of times. So what incremental will do is basically have caching for the granularity level of a top level declaration. So every single top level declaration, right? So function declarations, type declarations, top level globals, that kind of stuff. All of those will become a single, atom that you can cache. And after that, yes, the linking is also going to be different. So we're not going to do the normal linking strategy, but we're going to do incremental linking, which means something like this. Basically, a incremental. This is going to be only for debug builds, obviously, right? So an incremental build executable in Zig will be like this. Let's say that you have function f here. Here you have f. And then here you have maybe you have g. And g inside calls into f. The way it's going to work is that to allow for patching to be fast and efficient. So to allow patching to be fast and efficient, we need to make the runtime a little bit less efficient. So here's how it's going to work. Normally, if G calls into F, the linker will literally slap inside of G a pointer to F or an offset, and depending on the instruction, and like G will basically have direct knowledge of where F is, and then we'll just straight up jump into it. But we can't do that, because if we want to change F, we want to afterwards change F, and we want to produce F prime. So that's going to be the new version of F, right? So the idea is you change only F, and then you run an incremental build. We want to update this, but there's going to be potentially like hundreds of references to F. So how do we make that update easy? The way it's going to work is that in the executable somewhere, let's say, I don't know, at the very top, at the beginning, there's going to be a table. And that table is going to say F. There's going to be a bunch of entries. And one entry is going to say F is allocation X. Let's say that this is location X. And then when you compile F1, this is going to change to say F is in location Y, and this is location Y. So when G wants to call F, it's not going to jump anymore, but directly what it's going to do first is look into the table. Not doing the search anymore? What do you mean? What the fuck are you guys doing then? God damn it. Now I'm going to telling people about wrong stuff. What are you going to do if you don't? You need to have some kind of indirection, right? So if it's not a table, what is it? Are you going to pitch all locations? Yeah, delete the VOD. Yeah, fuck it. Delete the channel at this point. When F moves to F1, we're writing the first few bytes of the old F to be a trampoline. Holy shit, that's evil. Okay. So you're going to... Oh my god. Okay, so you're going to change the first few bytes to then jump into something else. That's evil. Okay. Different strategy. No more table. Fuck the table. Okay, cool. Well, in any case, you know what? Maybe there might be even more ways of implementing this, but you get the idea, right? The idea is somehow you need to trade performance for this. By the way, this other approach, as you can see, like if they keep this up, then you potentially create like very long chains of these things. That's probably problematic for performance. I'm guessing that's kind of what I'm describing here is kind of a degenerate case, because probably as you create new versions at some point, the new version of F is gonna fit. Like once you have 3-4 fucking versions of Fs and you make another change, then the new version of F can just override the previous one, and that's gonna be good enough. Yeah, we're not gonna make change. We'll always just keep the first one as the main trampoline. That makes sense, actually. That is true. You don't have to follow the chain. Cool. Okay. You guys know how linked lists work better than me then. Okay. So that's the idea. Ooh, look at this delicious bug that I was about to put in. Look at this. Defer that never runs because we loop forever in rain WS. Actually, wait, this guy shouldn't return any error ever. Okay. Nothing lane clients locking watcher. Where is that thing? 188. Let's see. Especially one argument. That's fair. Expected type 8 found const. Oh my god, const buffers. We updated Zine to 0.14. And the website looks reasonable. It seems that we haven't borked anything. Honestly, it wasn't even that bad. Let's take a look at other websites. Maybe I can push this. You know what? Let's be optimistic. Fuck. That has to do with my documentation generation stuff. Method invocation only supports up to one level of implicit pointer dereferencing. Use dot start with the reference pointer. Okay, we'll see about that stuff. Let's see this one first. Add copy file to source. Right, so about scripty reference docs, which is where I'm doing the stuff I guess. Add copy file to source. Build a zig 392. Oh, no. It's worse than that. Wait a second. So the problem is that I'm using a feature that I believe is not there anymore. Add copy file to source has been nuked. Freak. I like that. Like, I genuinely had a good use case for it. I genuinely wanted to generate something and then put it back into my source directory. That is indeed annoying. What did that function do? It takes a lazy path and then copies it into your source directory. I guess I can emulate that manually, right? I can do copy is p.add system command. Is that it? What is it called? Add system what? Add system command. Why am I not getting suggestions? Oh, because I don't have B. Add system command. And then we do cp and then we copy reference MD. Reference MD, I'm guessing, is a lazy path. Add file arg. And then that's just a normal path. Update source files. Add update source files. Okay. Oh, it's literally the same thing. Is that it? Oh, I can do that. Project. Oh, wait a second. That's what I was already doing. Sorry. Oh, God damn it. Okay, so this and then this. And then that's it. Okay, so maybe we're already good. But I do it somewhere else. Yeah. I think is this my build scripting here? No, I just called scripty reference docs. Who else is doing this shit? Okay. Time to understand what is this thing. Okay, that's Zin itself. Add copy file to source. Yes, it's there. Add copy file to source. Oh, I'm a moron. I'm not depending. Hello. I'm not depending on the local one. That's the problem. Okay, we need to investigate this. Add copy file to source in write file. That's not a write file anymore, dude. What are you talking about? Wait, was he doing somewhere else? Oh yeah, fuck. I was doing it also up here. I'm an idiot. That's what's happening. Right, it's two files that get generated. That's the problem. The build system really needs better docs. I had no idea this existed. What do you mean, Grey Hatter? Go to the file. Was it lib std build.zig? Watch all public methods. That's the API. I mean, technically, you can do also that from the online viewer. Okay, so yep, this is working. Can we do docgen? There we go. We still have uppercase structs somewhere. In docgen.zig. Oh no, that's betrayal. Oh, this is not this docgen. Oh shit. No, it's not scripty either. It's either SuperHTML or SuperMD. No, it has to be SuperMD. Right. The docgen is in Zine. It's either that or Zine. Let's see, 240. Yeah, it's this guy. How would I know what this function does? Oh, sorry. Your point is that the function doesn't have a doc string. Is that it? I thought your point was that how do I discover that this exists in the first place? If it doesn't have a doc string, then yeah, fair. I assume you meant something else. Although, at that point you can look at the implementation. No, but it's fair to say that it should have a doc string. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we do this? I guess we just push and update stuff. Are we happy now? No, we're not. DocGen itself in Zine also betrayed us. 228. Freak. I think we never fixed this file at all, or almost at all. (222). Oh, that's in SuperMD. Oh, snap. 219. Two, three, six reference fields. Description. Wait, what? Struct context page fields has no member name description. Zine DocGen 236. Am I looking at the wrong line? No, this is it. But reference fields is actually a reference. It's an array of reference dot field. Oh, the problem is that okay, description is the tf.name. Yes. Yeah, this is this. And tf.name is description. What is tf.name? Info.fields. Info is type info on T. I think this is saying that. Oh, I get it. This guy had a field named description somewhere. Not this guy. Not this guy. This guy had description. That's actually description of the field description. So this guy needs to stay like this. Yeah. Struct context value has no field named. Root util ctx context value. Why are we worrying about this guy? Wait a second. So analyze values, analyze type, start declare here. Root utils ctx context value. Oh. Root utils ctx context value. The heck is that thing? This is value. There's another utils somewhere, I think. There's another thing that has description. There's another thing. Okay, let me try to break it for a moment. Let's see what happens. Analyze type. So if I do t.description, that should be wrong, right? Because it says, well, template doesn't have description. That's fair. But then somehow we land on ctx context value. Where the heck is that thing defined? There's no function called ctx. Oh, frick. Okay, I know. Utils is in here. There we go. This guy. Wait, is it only that guy? Yeah, I believe so. Okay. I'm almost done. Or at least I thought. Nothing in docs description in struct docgen reference field. True. I updated something that should at 125. Success. Okay, with this we have succeeded. It's official. So what do we have local? SuperMD. Oh, it's the fetch bug again. Yeah, look at this shit. Come on, man. I don't know. Okay. This fetch bug is annoying as fuck. It really needs to be fixed. Please don't. This shouldn't be in the release. Okay, success. I guess we can tell people. Well, this is the bug failing to override the existing dependency. More specifically, if you have a dependency set to .path, and then you fetch a URL, it doesn't update. It doesn't go from path to URL and hash, but it instead puts the URL inside .path, and then the build fails because it doesn't find a root file, and so it says that the module doesn't exist. It's kind of silly. The problem is that if you have a dependency in a zone file set to .path and then you try to use zigfetch to update it to the web version, then it doesn't work. But not bad. I mean, we did a good job, I think, at upgrading things. We're not done yet. Probably SuperHTML needs to be updated. Like the LSP stuff needs to be updated, but bit by bit, we're getting there. So this was a good stream. I hope that people enjoyed watching me struggle. I didn't even struggle that much at the end of the day. Like the hardest part was updating the WebSocket stuff that was super fucking annoying, and I should probably test that thing works. Let's test that the web server stuff works. Okay, it works. Not bad. what happens if I duplicate and I have another tab? Bonono. 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 I close one and then send out an update. Seems that we're good. Maybe I should put back the spaces. There we go. Okay, we're good. So Zine is actually updated and everything seems to work well enough. So I think I'm gonna stop the stream here. It's been a good stream. We did a bunch of work and it's almost time for me to have dinner. So let's see if anybody else is streaming. Ideally somebody doing Zig. I don't see any stream announcements. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day. So thank you all for hanging out and I'll see you next time with some more exciting Zig work. Today was just the chore of updating to 0.14. So see you all. Bye-bye.